Hi there VC, it's Steve Whitty here with another video, second video of 2020. I hope everybody's well and they've enjoyed their weekend. I've had a few days off work. Always nice at this time of year to take stock and sort of like recharge the batteries. So this video is the vinyl tag video for 2020. Now there's been several versions of this apparently floating around. I've based my questions on the versions that Ron Hegarty and Andrew Tales from the Crate had posted on the first of the month, and I'm pretty, because they've been long-standing members of the VC. I just thought I'd go with those, and I think that's the one that everyone's going with. I've yet to see any of these videos because I didn't really want it to be influenced in my answers. So without further ado, there's 20 questions. So let's start off, and this is the first one is the best find of 2019, and for me, it was the Kiss solo albums. I found all four in my local shop. There's Ace, Peter, and Paul. These were American issues. But what was great about them, they had all the poster which came together, and the salon, the merch slips as well. So it was a pretty complete list. So I was very pleased to find those. I mean, obviously I found better albums, more probably, classic albums or whatever. But just to find all four of those in that condition, it was pretty pleasing. Second question, favourite album of 2019. I didn't buy anything that was released in 2019, so I ain't got anything to show you. The only one I'm going to go with is the Angel Olsen album, and I can't actually forgot to put a note in the name. I enjoyed that, listening to that on my commute to work. So yeah, that was a good album. Question 3, novelty record. Now, I did struggle with this, thinking I'd have to go through all my singles. And suddenly, something hit me. 50 years ago, this year, 1970, the England World Cup squad had a number one hit with Back Home. This was sort of to celebrate the fact that they were going to defend the World Cup in Mexico in that year. And such was the success of the said record that they released an album, which is the said World Cup, Jules Rimet trophy as it was, and the autographs of the England World Cup squad are on there. And it's shaped like a ball. Record's not in the greatest of nick, to be quite honest. There you go. And the cover's fallen apart, but the cover sort of like was circular, and you've got the track listing, so the songs they were singing, Back Home, of course, doing the hits at the time, Sugar Sugar, Lovey Dovey, Lily the Pink, You're in Me Arms, Jeff Astle sung that, Put It on a String, Congratulations, Obla-Dee, Obla-Da, Glorio, Make Me an Island, Cinnamon Stick, and then finally, sort of patriotic, There Will Always Be in England. So, here's the cover, and then, be careful here. Pictures there. Pictures from the 66 World Cup, which England won. Record. Probably the most iconic image of 1966 was Bobby Moore on the shoulders of Jeff Hurst and a couple of teammates. To the right there, that his face is slightly, is Martin Peters. He scored the second goal for England. Sadly, he passed away a couple of weeks ago from battle with Alzheimer's. Half the squad, that team are now gone. And then that was the group who got through to qualify for the 70 World Cup. More images of the 66 World Cup final. Those are pictures of those who appeared on the record. And then some of the teams. And they've got a list of old teams here: Newcastle, Stoke, Coventry, Sheffield United, West Bromwich Albion, Ipswich, Everton. These are all teams that were in the top division at the time. Sheffield Wednesday was there. Crystal Palace, Queen's Park Rangers were all in the top division. They even included Birmingham City, God knows why. Yeah. So that's my novelty record. You could smell the brown ale, because I can imagine they would have had to have had some lubrication to in getting to sing. And brown ale probably was the drink of the choice at that time. So that's my novelty record. Probably spent a bit too much time on that. Right, next one, homage cover. Cover, they're supposed to be similar. Well, I haven't said they're similar. So, sort of the original Slade Alive. Get Slade Alive, the exclamation mark there. And then Kiss were heavily influenced by Slade. And you can see Kiss Alive. You can see the exclamation mark there. They chose that because they were such big fans of Slade. Now what? It makes this easier if I put them there. You can tell I'm totally organised. B-side, I thought I'm going to have to go through all these singles to find a decent B-side. Literally one box, first box I picked out, found Holidays in the Sun by Sex Pistols, B-side which I always loved, Satellite. Question 6, something funky in there. This was an album I picked up just around Christmas time. This is British band Freeze and their debut album Southern Freeze, released in 1981. At this point, there was a big revival, what's called New Wave Jazz Funk. Freeze was one of the bands. Level 42 were another one of these bands into that. This really is a funky record. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant record. If you can find it, worth checking out. Weird Shelf Buddies. So, I've got ABC's Lexicon of Love. Because I do things alphabetically, it's very polished pop, heavily produced, Trevor Horn. And then I find that up with AC/DC's High Voltage. The debut album that was released in the UK. So very stripped down raw rock. You couldn't have two polar opposites there. Question 8. I was there, a band I seen live, and I could do pretty better than this. Rush. This is the Show of Hands live album, and I wasn't there. Part of this was recorded in Birmingham, and the video was recorded in Birmingham. I wasn't at that gig. However, they just beforehand they'd announced. Last minute, they announced a gig. They wanted to test the cameras and everything, just make sure everything was okay. So they just had a small gig. They had a gig in the NEC, same venue, and just opened the bottom. So there were a few people there. I mean, that area was sold out, but they just put it on last minute, and I was there at the gig while they were trying out the cameras and everything for the video. Glad I was there. It was a great show. This one, I did have difficulty thinking about it. Wish I had an original copy, but I have a repress. And I saw it sticking out me rack, so I've gone for this Ramones debut album. This is a reissue. I'm trying to think when this was. Yes, I would like a original, but I suspect it'd be very rare, and it's rare as hen's teeth, and it cost me a lot of money. Number 10, a discography I own, and I've got several actually, but I'm going to choose 3. And this is their Highway album. I haven't brought all their albums out, but that's my discography. one of the aims I want to do in 2020 is do videos where I'm sort of ranking albums, a group set of albums. I've got a few groups there. I've got the discography, so you know, and they always seem to be pretty popular. And question 11: in unique centre label, I didn't say this is unique, but this is the album shown is something I picked up this week. This is Stray Saturday Morning Pictures, and Stray was on the Transatlantic label. And I don't know if you can see this centre there, very colourful, with the flags of the UK on it, and the plane, boats, very colourful image, which I actually enjoy. So I don't know if it's that unique. It was a smallish label. Pentangle were on there. This was their 70s label. It's strode from the obvious. I can imagine a few people might show vertical swirls, whatever. But no, that was my unique centre label. Number 12, pre-band. Before they went on a bit famous. Actually, this is Steely Dan's, and this is Some Mountain. Now, this is a group of songs that recorded. They were songwriters before, real building songwriters before they set up Steely Dan. So this is a list of songs that they wrote, that recorded, and it's been released, various reissues. It's not difficult to get hold of an album that's got these songs on there. Yeah, and I think there's a couple of songs that ended up on the debut Steely Dan album on here, but different versions. Book, favourite book. The book I picked up just recently, and it cost me all of 50 pence. This is Huey Morgan's Rebel Heroes, and it's about the renegades of music and why we need them. I'm going to start reading this on my commutes tomorrow, so I'll let you know what it's like. But that was my book I picked up. Underrated album. I've shown this many times before, and I'll sing this until the cows come out. Katrina and the Waves debut album. Just a great pop record. Doesn't get the kudos it deserves, but yeah, great. And then Batting Average, an album, a group whose discography is always consistently good. Several bands I thought of, but I plumped because I wanted to show something different. And it's Roxy Music, and this is their For Your Pleasure album. I always made consistently great albums, even when they veered up in different directions. I did a ranking video a couple of years ago on them, and there wasn't a bad album there. Some were better than others, obviously, but I couldn't fault any of the albums. Question 16, same album, different cover. I've got, let me show you. Billie Holiday's Lady Sings the Blues. This is I think this is a reissue. It's on Verve, but it is a reissue. That's the original. But I won a raffle on one of the albums to pick a record out. So I actually picked up this. This is, again, same album, Lady Sings the Blues, different cover. This is a French Jazz Images reissue. I'm trying to think when it came out, but they put a bonus track on here, which was Stormy Blues. So there's one extra track on this version. Album brought cheap, worth money. I'm not exactly great with this. I bought an album recently on eBay. I've done a bit of eBay work, and one of the albums I brought was this, The Byrds, Fifth Dimension. So I log it on Discogs. You do all the things, you check everything out, and I'm finding it's telling me this is worth about 200. I paid about £10 plus a little bit for postage, and they're telling me it's worth on Discogs. They're worth about £100. I'm going to have to double check it because I'm not sure that can't be right. But everything seems to match up with the cover. everything. So, yeah. So, this is my cheap album that's worth money. Favourite, question 18, favourite drummer. That's quite easy. It's Neil Peart from Rush and Exit Stage Left, another of their live albums. Absolutely brilliant album. Boston live album. His drumming's up to the fore on that. This is one that certainly came to me this morning. Album turning 20 this year. And I thought, I ain't got any albums that are turned 20 this year. I was a student. I was a mature student in 2000. And I'd stayed up for a trip to America, so I didn't really buy many records or CDs. Actually, it'd be CDs. But then last year, I bought a reissue. It's the first time it'd been put out on vinyl. And the record that's going to turn 20 this year is Jimmy Page and the Black Crowes, live at the Greek. The CD was originally issued in 2000. And I have fond memories of this because I did, as I said, I went to States in 2000. Went to Washington, saw July the 4th in Washington, went to New York, then flew to Austin, Texas, and had a great time. And that was played on the radio a lot, so when I was driving around. So this record holds particularly fond memories for me. And final question, a trilogy of 3 solid albums that have a theme. I've cheated here. The theme is Beatles Anthology. Anthology 2. And finally, Anthology 3. So you see the theme with the anthology albums. And they are solid albums. You know, because at the time, you know, this is obviously pre all the remixes that have come out in the last few years. This introduced the listener to outtakes, various different things. I mean, the first anthology album was really interesting, just for the That'll Be the Day version of That'll Be the Day. It was played in the booth, but just hearing that, I mean, I'll say on this album, I always prefer the acoustic version of While My Guitar Gently Weeps to the version that's on the White Album. Now, that might be sacrilege, but you know, that's just, that's the way it is. Yeah, so those are my trilogy of albums. And then finally some shout outs. Obviously the UK VC, James Griffiths, vinyl professor, John 6-inch pianist, Martin, John, John Bellamy, merely Chris. He doesn't post many videos, but we do see him on the meetups. He's always good fun, good laugh. I'm trying to think who else. Yes, Harvey, Spinning the Back Circle. He doesn't post many videos now, but I do see him. He shops in my local shop. Good guy. So he's doing a Queen. He bought a Queen box set, and he's not a Queen fan, and he's just reviewing the albums, and I'm not sure which way he's going with that, but I do respect his opinion. So, in the States, Steve Carlson, Rob Penick, L.A. Lease, Beetle Brad, I enjoy, and Hannah. Am I introverts? I said Rob. Who else? Steve Carlson. Yeah, I'm probably going to repeat names. There's one name I want to say, and it's a UK. It was new to the VC this year. Richard McCook from Northern Ireland. Lovely accent, but I think, and I know James said it in his roundup video 2019. He shows a lot of singles, and I think that's got me buying more singles. You know, obviously there's the space thing, but there is that value of singles, and obviously one of the questions this year's VC was the show the B-side, and he can get that on a single. I know I think may show a B-side of an album, but to me a B-side's a single, album is side 2. That's just my opinion. So there you go, VC. That's my stand on the vinyl tag. I hope that you enjoyed it, you found it informative, and the whole point of the vinyl tag is that it gets a lot of people to You may not do videos or may not see videos, but watch a lot of the Vinyl Tag videos. I hope that if you've come across my channel for the first time, that you give it a thumbs up. If you like what you see, click on the subscribe button. Always welcome the feedback, the comments. I always get back to you. I've had some new comments from new people on some past videos, and it is appreciated because we're all busy, and I do appreciate you taking time to watch the videos. So VC, enjoy your Sunday. Wherever you get up to, make sure it's a good one. Look after yourselves. Keep spinning. More importantly, keep on smiling.